lost money on Kylian Mbappe yesterday, expecting PSG to beat Borussia Dortmund, but Borussia Dortmund looked better. Well, remember, Borussia Dortmund is getting to the final half. Remember what happened against Bayern Munich some years ago. That should be 2013 in the UEFA Champions League. But can they get it right this time around? But we'll talk about that when we get to that part. But let's talk tennis this morning. Looking at the fixtures scheduled for today at the Italian International BNL Italia in Rome, the ATP 1000. Looking at what is going down today and looking at the WTA category of the Italian Open. Well, by 10 o'clock today, Jakub Mensik will take on Yannick Hoffman as Denis Shapovalov battles Luciano Darderi. Nuno Borges will battle Pedro Martinez, and we have Yoshito Nishioka taking on Sebastian Hoffner. Alexander Shevchenko will be up against Fabian Maros, and as Flavio Cobolli take on Maximilian Marteta. Pavel Kotov take on Alex Mikkelsen, and we have a lot of games. Well, last set of games going down today. By 4 o'clock, it will be Matteo Kingata against Giulio Zeppieri, and Fabio Fionini taking on Daniel Evans by 6 o'clock. In the WTA category, 10 o'clock this morning, Dona Vekic will take on Lesa Tresenko, and Kristina Bosha against Alina Avanegian. Linda Fruhivtova against Tatjana Maria, and we have more to go down. Naomi Osaka will be in action by 12 o'clock against Clara Burrell, and we have Sofia Kenin being in action against Lucia Bronzetti. Well, Renata Zarazua against Elisabetta Cocchiaretto by 2:30. Last set of games going down. Rebecca Stramkova against Georgia Pendone going down 4 o'clock, and by 7:30 we have Sarah Irani against Amanda Anisimova. Now, moving on this morning, and well, as a coach, you just have to think twice. You know what to do when you're training with the opposite sex. Now, here in tennis, a tennis player was awarded $9 million in damages by a jury in federal court in Florida after accusing the U.S. Tennis Association of failing to protect her from a coach she said sexually abused her at one of its training centers when she was a teenager. The lawsuit filed by Kylie Mackenzie in March 2022 said Anibal Aranda, who was employed by the Sports National Governing Body for about 7 years and later fired, used his position as a USTA coach to get access to vulnerable female athletes and commit sexual battery against them. Think twice, guys. Now let's go countdown to 2024 Olympics going down in Paris. 5 days, 14 hours, 46 minutes, 57, 56, 55, 54 seconds to go. Now, let's check some stories out, making rounds the countdown to 2024 Olympics. Olympic 400-meter freestyle champion Ahmed Hafnoed will miss the Paris Games. Africa Aquatics confirmed on Tuesday. The Continental Governing Body said on its website the 21-year-old Tunisian had confirmed Tunisian media reports that he would not swim at the July 26 to August 11 games. According to reports, Hafnard declined to resume training in the United States, where he was previously based, but did not provide details. Now let's go straight to Canada, where Canadian wonder Key Summer McIntosh has opted out of the 800-meter freestyle at the Olympic trials, boosting Kate Ledeck's chances of an unprecedented fourth gold medal in the event at the Paris Games. McIntosh had raised the hopes of a showdown for the 800-meter title in Paris when she became the first swimmer to beat the American greats in 13 years in the event at the Florida meet in February. However, the 17-year-old has not entered the 800-meter at the next week's Canadian Olympic trials in Toronto. Now, looking at the last update here, talking badminton, and arbitrator upheld 5-year suspension of USA Badminton CEO for interfering in the reporting of misconduct in a long-running case about a coach accused of sexually abusing a teenager nearly a decade before the episode was reported. That's another update there. The Associated Press obtained a letter sent by the U.S. Center for Safe Sport last week notifying the U.S. Olympics and Paralympic Committee and USA Badminton of the decision regarding Linda French. Okay, we go on a break, and when we come back, we talk more sports stories. Still Kickoff Sports Show live on your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty sweaty uniforms and socks were clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further. Milo!
Máa lọ fọ́n àwa fún ẹ ibikíbi tó àṣà mọ́ pa wá pẹ̀lú ẹ ìwọ ló ló ní pàdé FCMB wà fún ẹ ìwọ ló ló ní ọ̀la ti dájú ọ̀wọ̀ máa ṣọlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú FCMB ìwọ ló ló ní ọ̀la ti dájú ọ̀wọ̀ máa ṣọlẹ̀ ọ̀la bàbá ọ̀tá tó síbẹ̀ ó pàdé ọ̀wọ̀ máa ṣọlẹ̀ ọ̀la ti dájú pẹ̀lú FCMB.
FCMB, èmi àti pánkì mi.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Keep it 93.9.
Welcome back to your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Solutions. Still Kickoff Sports Show, the first half of AM updates this morning. And let us talk football here and look at updates coming from FIFA this morning. FIFA will hold a vote to decide whether Brazil or Belgium, the Netherlands and Germany, BNG, will host the 2027 Women's World Cup. Both bids met hosting criteria, but Brazil scored higher on the technical aspects, covering areas such as stadiums, accommodation, fan zones, and transport. If Brazil's bid is successful, it will be the first time the tournament has been held in South America. Let us look at this. FIFA's 211 members association will vote for their preferred host at the 74th FIFA Congress in Bangkok on 17th of May. Let's look at the points garnered here. A bid evaluation report published by FIFA on Tuesday showed Brazil's bid scored 4.0 out of 5 in a technical evaluation, while BNG, that is the joint bid of having Belgium, Netherlands, and Germany, scored 3.7. I mean, how will there be a joint bid scoring below a single bid of Brazil? But what we are seeing here, it's looking like swinging the ways of Brazil. But remember, anything I say happen, still waiting for what will happen from that end. Now, moving on, let's go straight to England this morning before we talk about the UEFA Champions League. Right, Nottingham Forest have failed with an appeal against their 4-point punishment for breaching Premier League profits and sustainability rules, PSR. The club's case was held on 24th of April, and an appeal board has upheld the original decision of an independent commission to impose the sanction. The commission found Forest's losses to 2022-2023 breached the threshold of £61 million by £34.5 million. It means Forest remains 17th and 3 points clear of the relegation zone with 2 games left to play. Now talking about Nottingham Forest and looking at their game in the English Premier League. 2 games left to play. Nottingham Forest will be facing Chelsea. Chelsea is smoking hot right now, and they look like but can they struggle with Chelsea? Nottingham Forest 17 with 29 points, winning 8, drawing 9, and losing 19 matches this season, scoring 45 and conceding 63 goals. And guess what? Chelsea is 7th on the Premier League log, so 10 position gap between the two sides. That is what it looks like from that end. Now let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. Not really a sweet night for Paris Saint-Germain. Superstar Kylian Mbappe, talk of the players. And well, Kylian Mbappe came out to say that he should have helped his team more. Be more aggressive. And it is what it is, right? Everybody has to move on. But now let's talk about the manager, Edin Terzic. Well, he was with a team that nobody gave a chance to get to the final of the UEFA Champions League, but the game came up yesterday and they had to do what they needed to do against the French champions. The scoreline aggregate ended 2-0 after Hummels 50th minute to go. Here is Edin Terzic, the coach of Borussia Dortmund.
Well, of course, we also knew that we're going to have chances in that group, in the group of death. But to be honest, maybe we've been dead after the second game with only 1 point. They haven't scored a goal. And then we had our first great performance and the first great win away in Newcastle. A very tough game for us. And from that, we can see that maybe everything is possible, especially if you see, for example, Milan. They've been to the semi-final last season, and we won at San Siro. We had a okay performance at home, and then we start to believe and to dream. Incredible proud. Proud is the right word. I'm very proud of the team. I'm very proud of the staff that did a fantastic job so far, and for the club. If you see what happened on the final match day last season, a very tough day, and the support has been there for us. They supported us and gave us so much love, and we tried to give something back, and I think today we gave them back the belief and a bit to dream.
Okay, well, those are the words you have to hear from a manager who believes in the team and getting all the backings from the fans. Okay, so looking at some of the players in the Borussia Dortmund squad, Jadon Sancho is part of this team, Karim Adeyemi. But let's talk about Jadon Sancho, a man who got frozen out of Manchester United squad, doing well with Borussia Dortmund. Although Kola Joe-Alfred said, well, because he was rude, he's undisciplined. But sometimes you see things like this. So his original club is even battling to qualify to play in Europe, and he's already in the final of UEFA Champions League. Remember, look at PSG squad. Dembele, who left Barcelona, got to the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League with PSG. But now let's focus on Jadon Sancho and other players. Well, for Sancho, should he win the UEFA Champions League, that is going to be a big dent on Erik ten Hag and some players in Manchester United. Although some Manchester United players have won it before. I mean, Casemiro with Real Madrid, Varane with Real Madrid. But let's look at Sabitzer, Emre Can. These two players were fantastic. And, well, they spoke after the game. They will have to sit back and look at the game Bayern will be playing tonight against Real Madrid.
Oh, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I can't find the right words. The emotions are there. Goosebumps, the fans are there. So we had a dream, we did it, so yeah, we're very happy to make it happen. So yeah, we're going to London. Yeah, of course I will watch it. My old team will play. I have a lot of friends there, so it would be nice to see them again in the final. But to be honest, I really don't care who's gonna go through it. I'm just happy to be in the final. I can't wait to go to Wembley, but you know, I will have a lot of drinks tonight, so let's see in which shape I am tomorrow.
Against PSG, you know, before, if you see our story, then the first game we lost here in Paris. Second game we played draw at home against Milan, and then we had just 1 point from 2 games, and then nobody believed in us, to be honest. Just we believed in us, our fans believed in us, and that's why we are here, and we did a great job, and that's why we are deserved. We are very deserved to here, of course.
All right, well, you heard that from Sabitzer and Emery Chan, but Luis Enrique, man who has managed Barcelona, lost with PSG in the semi-final, saying that, well, game of football sometimes can be crazy, but we still have to talk to the players. They have to move on. But at least they're going with a trophy this season. That is the French League on title.
Yeah, and if you added the 2 shots in the post in the first leg, 6 times in the post, and we didn't score a single goal, which means that football sometimes is very, very unfair. Of course, I think the intensity of the match, it was great for both teams. Too much pressure, you can feel that during the match, but I'm happy with the performance of my players, all of them, with the team. I think that match could be a proof for us, in earning experience and trying to improve, because now is the moment to congratulations to them, because they are in the final, and we need to recover from that.
Well, everything good, right? We'll move. But talking about the second semi-final of the UEFA Champions League games going down tonight, and that is the battle between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. Remember, it is the experience that may also come the way of Real Madrid. But remember, Bayern has also won it before. But looking at the players, Thomas Tuchel has got the experience as well. But remember, it's a semi-final. Only David Alaba will be missing the game for Real Madrid tonight. However, Bayern will be missing the services of Boy, Boshan, Coman, Guerrero, Matic, and Sarr. First leg ended 2-2. What will be happening tonight in Spain? We keep our fingers crossed. But what remember, the winner of tonight's game will be facing Borussia Dortmund in Wembley in the final. But also remember, one game is also going down tonight in the Europa Conference League, and that is Club Brugge against Italian Serie A side Fiorentina. Okay, so that's the update from that end. Well, we'll wrap up the show here, and we're getting updates about Nigeria's goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali. According to reports, Kaizer Chiefs are struggling to follow up on their interest in Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali because of his price tag. According to report, in South Africa, Chippers United are demanding around 30 million rand. That is approximately 1.3 million pounds to sell the Nigerian international. It's about the money. If you have the money, go for the player. Manchester United's owners will take their time before making a decision about Erik ten Hag's future. Yes, remember, we also got updates about Erik ten Hag being on the shortlist for Bayern to take over from Thomas Tuchel, but decisions have also been made. This man has been dropped from that lineup. But I have to wrap up the show here and move to the other side. Looking at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers, what is happening in Nigeria. Mr. President will be back in the country today. And it is also the cyber security 0.5 levy on Nigerians making transactions. And although there was a breakdown about those, the 0.5% will not be affected. But remember, Nigerians will always stand strong and stand tall. My name is Oladapo Kunubi, aka Young Striker, and I do not go anywhere, because From the Dailies is coming up next.
Good luck bites marks from all them king line. Steady moving, I'm just living life. And so many people in my business, so many joking eyes. My fears are easier to face now. In the front of my head, steady chasing my paper, sipping my tail with no chaser. My steps are guided by Jehovah. I'm 44 looking over. Let no peace stop us alone. And every show is a short time. Cause I stand strong. Baby, you know go my minus. OBO LME 9 plus. Big fish flow like the ocean. Oh, I'm one star strong. ATBG day my back on. OBO LME 9 plus. Can't deny my devotion. Oh, 'cause I stand strong. OBO no minus. OBO LME 9 plus. Can't deny my devotion. Oh, look in my eye. You see the money and the fame and success, but you really don't know what's going on in my life. In my life. What's going on in my life? No pleasure comes from pain. No money fall like rain. This thing they cause migraine, but it's all love. My fears are easier to face now. In the front of my head, steady chasing my paper, sipping my tail with no chaser. My steps are guided by Jehovah, and my mama looking over. Yes, we are spelling in order, and that is the law of the land. Oh, 'cause I stand strong. OBO no go minus. OBO LME 9 plus. Big fish flow like the ocean. Oh, I'm one star strong. ATBG day my back on. OBO LME 9 plus. Can't deny my devotion. Oh, 'cause I stand strong. If I tell you say easy, OBO LME 9 plus. Can't deny my devotion. Oh, 'cause I stand strong. OBO no minus. OBO LME 9 plus. Can't deny my devotion.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Solutions 93 non-FM standing strong this morning, and I know that you all are also standing strong, expectant and very optimistic about today's successes, like I am, and like Adedamola Lafenwa is this morning. It is the second half of AM Update. My name is Favor Olorotola. Adedamola Lafenwa, good morning to you.
Okay, a beautiful morning to you, Favor Olorotola. And still talking about the song Standing Strong. I believe that Nigerians are standing strong despite various hurdles. And
strength is actually needed at this
despite the various hurdles that we have to cross as a Nigerian up to this moment. My name is Adedamola Lafenwa, and like Favor Olorotola said, we are set to take you through some stories in some of today's national dailies. Today is Wednesday, the 8th day in the month of May 2024. I've got the Vanguard and the Punch newspapers with me.
All right, with me are the Nation newspaper and the Nigerian Tribune. On the Nation newspaper this morning, we have the banner headline here. It says, ECOWAS forced to battle terrorism in Nigeria. Others. Sub-regional body sourcing $2.4 billion to raise counter-terrorism troops. Oil firms to inject 50% export proceeds into forex markets. Rivers APC directs lawmakers to impeach Fubara. I just burst out laughing when I saw the story this morning. It is a smoke screen, says government. Clark seeks IG's intervention. Now, underneath that story, we have NNPCL cautions against panic buying of petrol. Senators fault chamber renovation, page 2. And two flood-prone areas, NEMA is saying relocate people from flood-prone areas, tells 33 governors. You can see that news on the page 2 of the Nation newspaper. CBN extends suspension of cash deposit charges, page 7. And to the home front right here in Ibadan, it is tagged Olubadan. Coast clears for Olakunleyin. Lajada withdraw suit. You can see the story on page 25 of the Nation newspaper.
Okay, moving to the Vanguard newspaper this morning, talking about the man that has been the eye of the storm for the past 1 year in office as the governor of Rivers State. I don't think he has really enjoyed his tenure in the last 1 year. It's been turbulent, one problem or the other. Okay, starting with the story coming from Rivers State. Impeach Fubara now. Rivers APC urges 27 assembly members. As Clark writes, IGP warns of imminent danger. That story can be found on page 12. And still talking politics, Edo Guber, Obaseki Legacy Group set for showdown. I mean, it's been another turbulent time for the PDP in Edo State in recent time now. Popular, the new masquerade actress Ovularia dies at 81. Sad one. Did you watch the new masquerade at all? Oh, okay. So those that were really into the television soap opera in the 80s will really relate to that story. The new masquerade Ovularia, that lady there, has died at the age of 81. Moving away from that, propelling Nigeria towards renewal, Mohammed Idris, Information Minister. Controversy trails CBN's cyber security levy on electronic transactions. NLC rejects levy, demands immediate withdrawal. That story is found on page 20 of the Vanguard newspaper. And the biggest story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning says, oil block, FG removes signature bonus to woo investors. Tinubu returns to Nigeria today. Presidency. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, now we kick in off with cybersecurity levy from the Nigerian Tribune. This is stated here, cybersecurity level will add more burdens on Nigerians, experts. Well, there are other headlines underneath that, says FG should suspend it to save businesses from running down. Levy, another subtle task on private sector and a CCIMA. Put implementation on old CPPE. Serap gives Tinubu CBN 48 hours to withdraw unlawful levy. Page 2. All right, on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune here, helicopter operators, aviation ministry at loggerheads over landing charges, operators divided into 2 groups. 25 states, 72 local government areas within flood high risk areas between April and June. NEMA warns. No more justification for stopping 35,000 naira wage award. Labour. Proceed with Fubara's impeachment. Rivers APC tells lawmakers. PDP keeps Clark to IGP. Act now on Rivers crisis, says fake lawmakers driving Nigeria to anarchy. Ondo APC primary, Jimo Ibrahim wants APC barred from November poll. Page 2. insists election not conducted in 15 local government areas. Alleges Ododo Magege changed coalition center without prior notice. Now, the banner headline on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, NNPC, we have over 1.5 billion liters of petrol that will last for over 30 days. And finally, Olubadan, Lajda withdraws suit against Olubadan in cancel. This and many more on the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
All right, moving to the Punch newspaper this morning. FG woos global investors for 17 oil blocks. Page 17. 7.5 billion naira fraud. EFCC grills 20 NSCDC contractors, 10 offices. Page 7. Abduction. Anger as FIJ reporter suspends 7th day in police. Oh, sorry, let me take that again. Abduction, anger as FIJ reporter spends, 7th day in police cell. Page 29. Warnings of anarchy as APC demands Fubara's removal. That story is found on page 2. Dollar speculation. FD rubbishes Binance CEO's bribery allegation. The story is found on page 17. Still going through the Punch newspaper. Porn star testifies against Trump at Hush Money trial. Cybersecurity levy will worsen hardship. Labor. That story is found on page 17. Bullying. Police launch probe as Ekiti Varsity expels female students. That story is found on page 31. Did you see another viral video last night? I saw a video of some students of Ekiti University flogging another female student. So this is where the story came from. And the last one I'll be taking, Ladoja withdraws lawsuit, clears path for Olubadan enthronement. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Punch newspaper.
Let's be dynamic with your morning update and make it better with Kickoff Sports Show, where we will be serving you all the latest from tennis, basketball, Formula One, football, exclusive interviews, and lots more.
Hamilton going for the move on Alonso at the 130. These two great side by side.
Martinelli! Oh yes! Gabriel Martinelli! He's back with a bang!
Headlines from Nigerian newspapers, behind the papers from the stand, analysis on burning trending issues across Nigeria and beyond.
The problem is not politics or tribalism but corruption.
The governors will say, give us our own slot. The chairman of local government will say, give us our own slot. Who does those slots go to?
You offend, they arrest you, they detain you, and they release you. That's all.
Hello, my name is Oladapo Okunubi.
My name is Victory Onyedikachi.
My name is Adedamola Lafenwa.
And my name is Favor Oloruntola.
Join us weekdays 9 a.m. on your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM.
Here, we make it different from the norm.
Alright, still AM update on Solutions 93.9 FM, and we have our guest analyst joining us virtually this morning, talking about a comrade Olu Omotosho. A beautiful morning to you, sir.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Question?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Okay, I wanted to commence with the cybersecurity that was announced yesterday, the cybersecurity levy, and the experts on the Nigerian Tribune are actually saying that it's going to be a burden on Nigerians. First, what does this cybersecurity levy entail? Because I know that my bank charges me for different maintenance fees. What does this cybersecurity levy entail, and will it actually add burdens to Nigerians?
Well, first of all, good morning, Nigerians and all listeners around the world. The cybersecurity levy is actually meant for empowering the arm that is responsible for protecting or try to prevent cyber attack and cyber security threat in the country, and it's actually a levy that is being put in place. Well, that has been in place, not because it's not a new law. Okay. The law creating it had been in operation since the tenure of the last administration. I think 2016 or so. The law was enacted, and it's been enforced. Just that it was not fully or properly implemented. But now that they are just coming into it, and it has a lot of advantages. It's something that is needful somehow. Needful is because there had not been any budgetary allocation. Excuse me. There had not been any budgetary allocation for that in our budgeting up until now, and when the fund will be used to put in place to acquire what is needed, equipment and programs or what, and all those things that is needed to protect, to make sure that a cyber attack is detected. Is going to also help the banks also, because we have a lot of channels through which Nigerians have been duped, probably through bank frauds and things like that, by international cartels and all that. And it appears as if the arm that's the national security, and then the other agencies that are responsible for this are not well funded to be able to do the needful, do what is expected of them. So I think this is the reason why that is coming into force. Now, it's not a new law. It's been on for some time. It's just that they are just coming up with it now. The money is not for the banks. It's not the banks that owns the money. Neither is it CBN. The money does not belong to CBN as well. So the money, when brought together, when collected, will be given to the agency that is responsible for protecting our cyberspace. And I think, of course, probably attached to the Office of the National Security Advisors, and with some other people from the National Communication Commission and all that. So that's just it.
Okay.
Now, whether it's going to impact negatively on the citizens, certainly it's going to. Now, it will, because it doesn't matter. It might appear, when you look at the percentage, it might appear to be infinitesimal. But then, when you talk about when money start growing, it gets to some point, you discover that money also is something that should spring up our concern. But then it is something that we need to do. But whether it is, but I will say, whether it is rightly timed or wrongly timed or whatever, I believe that what has to be done also has to be done. Whether it is done now or later, it doesn't. It still has to be done. But my concern is a proper implementation. When this money are deducted from Nigerians, will the money be properly appropriated? That's the concern.
Comrade, the question on the minds of many Nigerians now is that before this was this one came up yesterday, Nigerians have been complaining about the different charges. I mean, you have to. I mean, for every transaction you make, there are some charges. I saw somebody was telling me 2 days ago that the person lives in UK. She said there's a particular bank she uses, and she left 2,500 naira in the account like a year ago, and gradually the money was being deducted for various charges, and what she has left in that particular account is about 156 naira without even touching that account. Now CBN is coming with this because they always come up with different charges, maintenance charges, something. Now, is this what Nigerians need? I mean, like we said, Nigerians keep asking the question, when will the government do something to ease the pain? It seems all the policies is to add burden. Is this not ill-timed? Is this the right time to implement this when Nigerians are already groaning?
Well, I think the problem is that when, we are always good with, Nigerian government and the Nigerians generally, we are good when it comes to coming up, formulating policy. But implementation is the problem that we've been having. Now, when this policy was brought into force, around 2015, 2016. Now, if it were to have been implemented, if the implementation has started, around that time, now we won't be saying, we won't be having some of the things we are having now. Now, one thing we need to get rightly is that we really need to understand is a lot of people are bleeding. Now, there are so many sleases, there are so many fraud that is going up in the bank, a lot of scams and all that. And then there are people, who are elderly, who have bank accounts. They do not even know how to use bank apps. Neither do they use the SSD or whatever. And yet money gets out of their account. And then they will go back to the bank and complain and all that.
Comrade, are you now saying that the introduction of this cybersecurity will curb all that? Nobody will be able to steal from our account anymore with this introduction of the cybersecurity?
There is no protection that is total anywhere.
Then why are Nigerians paying for the service they won't get?
No. Definitely, they are going to get. We are going to get the service. I am affected too. I'm a Nigerian, so but because I know some of it, I've gone through a lot of stress in recent time. There was a time, just about 2 months or something ago. My account was plundered, and this is an account that I have a debit restriction on. Now, it was an account meant for certain things, so I was making a target saving in that account, and I went to the bank and I told them to put debit restriction, and they did. And then at the point I was just getting alerts and all that, so I went back there. Although I got my money back. But if I want to be somebody that I didn't know how to go about it, that money would have been gone. That money will be gone by now. So it's the same thing. Now, it may not be total, but it's going to reduce it. Now, it's going to talk about, look at Naira, look at the way that Naira is tumbling and all that. Now, speculation, most of these speculators, not all of them though, but most of them are criminals. And they know what to do. They know how to do it. Now, we are talking about money laundering. That people, how did it happen that the dollar we have here get out of Nigeria through some people? How does it happen that people will steal money? And then they will pack it across the border without undetected. Undetected. Now, if things like this have been put in place, yes, it will reduce it. It can never be checked. not even in the United States of America, where whom the people will look at as a police of the universe. Not even there do you get a clean slate, but at least it will reduce it. Instead of right now they are having field day. Now it's going to be reduced, so it's going to impact also on the people. Yes, it is going to bring hardship. Yes, I understand. And don't forget, like I said, it's not. It does not. The money they are taking does not belong to the bank. Neither does it belong to CBN or whatever. Now, coming to the bank, yes, there are so many frivolous charges that we get from the bank. And before you get to know it, when you look at it, you see sometimes a particular bank that I bank with, they will charge you bank stamp duties in the during the week, and then at the point I was getting alert for weekend bank duty. Frivolous headings like that and all that. So when it comes to the bank, we need to talk to the bank and make sure that is done. But in this case, yes, it's taking money from us. But I think, and I strongly believe, I am an IT person, so I know what is happening there, and I know what are things. So it's something that we need to do. But my only concern is if the money is taken, if we pay the money, will the money be properly appropriated as they have told us they want to use it? That's just my concern. But other than that, it is deserving. It is something that we need to do.
Okay, Comrade, let's go back to the cash crunch era and fast forward to where we are now. At that point, a lot of people lost faith in the banking sector. Now, the first reaction I got yesterday when this news came out was, well, I'm going to switch the fintech, this fintech banks that we have right this moment. I don't know how it's really going to affect the banks if a lot of people decide not to use the conventional banks that we have and move to the fintech, and how it's going to affect the economy. And please implore people to, just stay put with the banks that they have if it's not going to have negative impact. This cybersecurity levy fee is not going to have negative impact on them.
Yeah, at the initial stage, it will impact negatively on the bank. Because a lot of people that do not have adequate information will say, no, the little change I have, I keep in a bank, and the bank will deduct it, and then everything will be gone. No, they will prefer to say, look, we are staying out of the bank. Yes, it will happen like that. But after some time, if by the time the policy is properly implemented, and there is a noticeable reduction in bank fraud, in scams and all that. Now, more people will start taking, giving it consideration to say, okay, I think probably the bank is safer now. Because a lot of people, so many people now don't believe in the bank again. Because you put your money there, when you go back there to take your money, the money is not there. And even that the banks too are not helping, they are not helping matters. Now they are charging you ATM maintenance and all, for whatever. And then, which of the ATMs are working now? Now, many banks will have like 10 ATM machines. And when you get there, only 1 or 2 will be working. And when you get there, the money you put there, you want to take money. Some will tell you cannot take more than 40,000. Some will say you can't take more than 20,000. Your own money. Now they are forced, because what they are trying to, what the central bank is trying to do is make our economy, less cash dependent, make it cashless. Now, because they want people to now make a transfer. And government is coming to say now, for every transfer you make now, you'll be paying money, you'll be paying this, you'll be paying that.
That's I was going to say that, because when you mentioned ATM maintenance, personally I haven't used ATM or the card in like 3 months, but on almost every week I get to this charges deduction on my account saying maintenance fee for the ATM, which I don't use. I've not used it in the last 4 months. I make transfers most times. Just to corroborate what you're saying.
Yeah, it's most of the social media, when you get there, a lot of complaints come up. Now it's like I'm going to the filling station and then I buy fuel, And then the filling station will be charging me that, look, because we are maintaining the pump that we use to dispense fuel into your car, so you have to pay for it. I mean, you have to pay for maintenance. That's the same thing. Now, you are saying that to make life better for you, because you don't want to be carrying cash all around, come, let us give you ATM, so you can go to the machine and use it. Or you can, anywhere you go, you don't have to go to the banking hall. And I said, okay, you gave me the card. You sold the cards to me and I buy. And you are still asking me to maintain the card. I mean, what's the moving part in the card that I'm maintaining? Because you charge me on, the money I put in the bank, you charge me on it. I pay you for keeping my money. And now you want me to pay you for me to take my money back from you after you have charged me for keeping it for me. And you keeping it for me, the money is not, you didn't just take the money and put it in the vault and leave it like that. No. You were using the money for business, lending it to people, and then taking interest. And the interest you take from the people you lend my money to, you are not sharing me. You don't give me anything. And still, you say because, and if I want to come back and take my money, you say I have to pay you. And you are even telling me that the money, you don't even have access to it. I have 100 naira with you. And I said, just keep it. When I need it, I'll come and take it. And I get back, you say, look, you can't take 100 naira. You can only take 20 naira. I mean, all of these things need, there is need to look into all of these things. But I think the reason why we are having that is because sharp practices is too much, is too high in the bank. And that's the reason we are having a kind of cash crunch that we are having now. Now, because CBN will tell you that they have dispensed money, they have money in the banks and all that. And when you get to the bank will tell you, say, CBN are not giving them money. Now, all of these things are happening because there is no, monitoring is not adequate, it's not proper. If it is done properly, now we won't get all of this. Now, don't be surprised when you get to Republic of Benin and you see a lot of naira. Our own naira notes there, and all other nations around us. How did this currency escape to those places and things like that? Some of these things, cybersecurity will address and reduce if the policy is properly implemented. You know, I keep saying this because this is Nigeria. Because every policy in Nigeria, Nigerians will find a way for circumventing it. And you cannot do that without the support and involvement of the bank executives.
Definitely.
Most of them, like many people have been talking about, most of them are complicit. All of these things, naira falling, dollars and all that rising and all that, they are the people that needed to be asked. They have questions. They have questions to provide answers. If it is properly implemented, things will be better for us. I am sure of that.
All right, comrade, let's move away from the banking sector. Let's delve into politics a bit, because there seems to be a crisis in 3 states talking about politics. Let's start from Rivers State. It's on the news this morning that on the front page of Vanguard, that impeach Fubara now. Rivers APC urges 27 assembly members. In few weeks, in 2-3 weeks from now, Fubara will be celebrating his first year in office. And I'm looking at Similaye Fubara of Rivers State. How do we judge his performance in the last 1 year? Looking at the series of various crises.
Can it even be judged?
How do we assess him? His governance in the last 1 year, looking at all different crises that he has been going through, and even up till this moment, a set of people are saying
troubled waters for him.
Impeach him.
Day one.
Well, whether he had the peace to govern or not, he's there. He's the governor. At least that nomenclature is there, and then he's enjoying the all the benefits of that office.
But I think his number one his number one sin is he's saying no to Godfatherism over there. That seems to be what is bringing him all this crisis.
One thing that I know, and that's one of the things that is bedeviling Nigerian politics, if you don't believe in godfatherism, they don't get involved in it. Now, you emerged through a godfather. You were not even in the line. You were not even close to it at all. Now, somebody went and brought you out and said, look, it is you that I want to be there. Now, if you don't want godfatherism, then you should reject it from that point. Say, look, I don't think I want to do it because I am not even close to it. I have not been there. So you should have rejected it. Now, you cannot benefit from godfatherism to get to that point, and then you get there and say, no, you don't want to. You don't want it again. No. Now, there are ways to do it. It's the same thing. Don't forget, that's the same thing that happens to what's his name, the last governor of Lagos State before Sanwo-Olu. That's why Ambode. That's why he lost. That's why he lost out. Now, it's don't forget Governor Makinde also in his first time. At some point, he had so many issues. Now, in his own case, it was better because he was not as if he was fully and totally sponsored by a godfather, like in the case of Fubara. Now, you have gotten there, and then you pick a battle. You started a fight with your mentor. Now, yes, the mentor may be overbearing, too overbearing, and then wanting him to do bigger. But you should be wise about it. Now, with the intervention of the president in the past, now he had enjoyed a little bit of peace. But whether he likes it or not, he needs to account. He needs to account because he's been sitting on that seat provided by the people. So he's been governing. He's been doing projects and things, whatever. He has been collecting allocation and then appropriating it and then expending the money. You need to account. You need to tell the people. But the point, where he got it wrong, I listened to his outburst that started this new thing. Now, you cannot, you are blaming somebody or playing God. He said his boss, Wike, wants him to worship him and all that. Now, if you listen to what he was saying, telling those House of Assembly members that most of them, that he filled them. Now, he said, he's telling, I heard him say that they are benefactor. Say things that it should not have been, that a leader shouldn't be saying. So, and you want to say that, and you don't want these other people to kick? No. And you know that you are not loved. You are amidst your enemies. And you are saying that simply probably because you feel now he still dies now. So it is politicians really need to learn. But whether he likes it or not, he must be assessed. And I think the River State people should assess him. If they feel he's okay, he should continue, fine. But if they feel that look, he has not done well enough, then may God save him.
Comrade, but in actual
level that he is now.
In actual fact,
the level that he is now,
yeah,
27 House members against him. It will take miracle for him.
You spoke about his outburst in a particular speech he made, but do we blame him? This is a man that has been totally distracted from his core assignment. He makes appointment. You see those people resigning, opting out of his government. He appoints commissioners. In 2 days, 3 days later, they are opting out because they are loyal to the minister of Abu FCT, that is Nyesom Wike. Don't we see it from the angle that probably Simi is being pushed to the wall for him to have made such a statement or an outpost?
Yeah, at the surface, when you look at it, you may want to say, well, by reflex, he's saying all of that. But that is not wisdom. That's not wisdom. In Yoruba parlance, they say if you are not holding the cutlass by the handle, you don't ask for the death that killed your dad. Because if you are not careful, that death will come for you as well. So it has not stabilized. It has not stabilized. This is whatever insult he's getting now. He's getting that insult because he's a leader. And that's one of the hallmarks of leadership. You must be able to absorb insult. You must be able, to live with, so many things. And but you are not yet still alive. The power is not, you know that power is, that you sit at the chair you are sitting upon is not yet stable. And then you want to tell to the people that, look, I have arrived. No. They will pull the chair under you, and then you fall down. That's exactly what he has done. If he had been a little wiser than when speaking, he can start from what stops him? Why did he start patronizing them, telling them, look, you are my boss, you are this, I love you, and all that, rapping them and all that to win their loyalty. Now, you don't have the loyalty of the people that can sustain you. And then you are still rubbing it on their faces, telling them they can go to hell because you do this for them, you do that for them. Somebody did what you are enjoying it now. Somebody did it for you. So that's one thing that politicians, I need to learn. You don't get today, I say, yes, because I am there now. Yes, I'm my own man. I must do this, I must do that. If you don't want people to tell you what to do, then don't take favor from them.
I think this is the lesson. This is the lesson to all politicians, all aspiring politicians.
It's not even to politicians alone. It goes back to our daily lives as well. You don't want this to happen, then don't succumb to it.
Well, don't go through it.
All right, still talking politics. Let's leave Rivers State and go to Ondo. A few weeks ago, the APC had a Guber primary where Lucky Aiyedatiwa emerged the winner. But in the news this morning, on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, Ondo APC primary, Jimoh Ibrahim wants APC barred from November poll, insists election not conducted in 15 local governments, alleges Ododo Omoagege changed collation center without prior notice. Now, Jimoh Ibrahim is was one of the contestants aspiring to be the Guber candidate of the APC, but he lost out to Lucky Aiyedatiwa. But he's saying here now that he wants the APC, his own party, to be barred from participating in the forthcoming November Guber poll. What's your take on this?
Well, the situation in Ondo has some similarity with that, with what is happening also in Rivers State. Apart from the fact that Aiyedatiwa was not probably as confrontational. Now, from the time Aiyedatiwa started having problem with his boss, immediate and his boss before his demise. Now, I knew that it would be difficult for him to become the governor. And don't forget, Akeredolu also went to bring him in as his deputy after his role with his past Agbola, his past
deputy.
Yeah, and Aiyedatiwa knew that he did not have, that he doesn't have the support of Akeredolu's team. And what I would have expected him to do was probably, to wrap them also and then make sure that he entrenched himself into their heart and then win their heart. But then at a point it appears as if he had gotten it, as if he had gotten what he wanted. When his boss was sick and away from Nigeria, yes, a lot of things were happening, of course. The rows he was having with the wife of the governor then and all that. But at some point, he also got a respite with the intervention of the president also, just like Fubara. Now, and at the point, it did something immediately after the death of Akeredolu. You will observe that most of the loyalists of Akeredolu resigned from his cabinet.
Yes.
From that time, that was a signal. Now, what he should have done was go start running after them. What stops you from going to prostrate if you need to do that and beg them if you actually want to win? Now, many people believe that, because I'm the the incumbency power, that the incumbency power will work. Now, incumbency power will work, yes, it does work. But then you have to, for you yourself, you must have entrenched yourself in such a way that it will work for you. When Akeredolu died and it was broken to him, the news had it that he was joyous that yes, he has gone. I mean, people were congratulating him and all that. In Yoruba land, you don't do that. In Yoruba land, you can do it in other places, but in Yoruba land, you can't do that. Many of his lovers ditched him because of that. Because you don't rejoice over the death of somebody, and not just somebody, but your own benefactor. So, I mean, that caused a lot of, from that time, he started losing faith. Now, what happened that he won the election is just the normal thing that happens in politics, the incumbency power. But I think he has too many powers to contend with. Now, how he's going to stay through now, I really don't know, except if that might work for him. But otherwise, APC is on the verge of losing the election in Ondo State, except something drastic. Something, I mean, it's done fast to make sure that the reconciliation is achieved among them. But then, he wasn't wise enough. Jima Ibrahim, he's fast becoming a veteran governorship candidate there. And he understands how things run there better than Aiyedatiwa. Aiyedatiwa is just running for the first time. Jima Ibrahim has run for about three times or so. So he understands what is happening. And these are people that have been in the party before him. So they know the matrix, they know what buttons to press, they know what to do. If you get it, I just hope APC will get his house together so that they don't end up like they did in Rivers and Bayelsa, and by getting disqualified from the election. How they do it, how to get out of it, I mean, it's left to them.
All right. A big thank you to you, Comrade Olu Omotosho, for being a part of the program this morning, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much.
Wishing you a very lovely day,
Thank
sir.
you.
All right.
Okay, at this point, we will come back to take your comments. Please just stay tuned to the station. It is still Solutions 93.9 FM.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
Wọ́n bèrè sọ fún wọn kó dá ẹ lójú èèyàn yìí ló jẹ́ má lọ fọ́ àwa fún ẹ ibikíbi tó àṣàmọ́ pa wá pẹ̀lú ẹ ìwọ ló ló ní pàdé FCMB wà fún ẹ. ìwọ ló ló ní ọ̀la ti dájú jọ̀wọ́ má ṣọ̀lẹ pẹ̀lú FCMB ìwọ ló ló ní ọ̀la ti dájú jọ̀wọ́ má ṣọ̀lẹ. Bàbá wọn tá tán síbẹ̀ ó pàdé o. Jọ̀wọ́ má ṣọ̀lẹ. Dúró tán. Pẹ̀lú FCMB.
FCMB èmi àti pánkì mi. Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
Staying tuned. It is still AM update on Solutions 93.9 FM. Around this moment, we are going to take your comment, and if you want to call in to contribute, the time is now. 0909-888-9939 and 0912-222-939. So far, we've delved into the cybersecurity levy That was announced yesterday. We went over to River State, and then we ended, had our bus stop at Ondo State. We're taking your comments right at this moment. Well, Sunday says, hardly do you wake up and hear good news about Nigeria. That's a heavy statement there.
Okay, let me check my comments here. I have this one saying, okay, this one. All right. Okay, I'm trying to scroll. Okay, I have this one coming from Babs Akambi. I don't think this government really means well for the citizens. They are only claiming to be aware of the plight of Nigerians. Something drastic needs to be done to stop them. And from Akpasubi Emmanuel, this shouldn't be the time for more taxes under any guise, except they are taxes directed at the rich, including political and legislative leaders. Levies that are only netting money for government without relieving the citizenry would be counterproductive in the long run. Businesses, particularly SMEs, should be given tonics that would boost them and not squeeze them out of business.
All right.
Okay.
Engineer AY, the cybersecurity levy piles more taxes on Nigerians already in economic distress, showing the government's interest in squeezing money from a struggling economy instead of helping it grow. There's also this one coming from K. We have this one. Okay, the ban buying ice, you kick against it. They said all POS should register, you kick against it. Pay cybersecurity levy, you kick against it. Well, link your number with BVN, you kicked against it, but you complain daily. What do you want? Well, I guess Nigerians are just, eager to have some kind of succor, make sure that we do not go through any more stress, and especially on the kind of salaries people earn right this moment. It can be really stifling and life, I don't want to say life threatening, but you just don't want to wake up with that motivation anymore, because maybe when I go out today there's something that is going to bring me distress when I come back from work, especially on my finances. I think I've answered your question at Debo Wali right there.
Okay, I have this one coming from Ernest Iworo. It's talking about the fact that we read that FD removes signature bonus to woo investors. He said, woo investors into a country where there is no light, good road, insecurity, and irresponsible set of leaders. Okay, an irresponsible set of leaders all over government. Those investors know our leaders more than their country. The investors we have are leaving Nigeria because of the corrupt nature of those in government. Talk less of bringing new ones. Okay.
Can I take this one? Bale says, which one is cybersecurity levy again? Full stop. Nigerians must most outrightly reject and protest tax on their hard-earned money. Continuous increases in taxes without commensurate income are wrong, and the current government can do better. Do you have more? Okay, at this point, we are saying thanks to everybody who's dropped their comments. If you listen to this point, we say thank you. We still have more programs lined up for you. Please just stay tuned to the station, because you're going to have the best broadcast throughout today. And please, like I usually say, do not fret. Let everything go well. Everything is just going to be fine, and it will be fine. And please do not do what I cannot do. My name is Favor.
Wait. What you cannot do? What are the things you cannot do that you wouldn't want me to do?
I think we'll talk about that after the program.
Okay, I would love to hear that. Okay, my name is Adedamola Lafenwa. Still tuned to Solutions 93.9 FM. Like Favor said, we still have lots of interesting programs lined up for your listening pleasure. Wishing you a winning Wednesday. Good morning.
Bye.